Hello. Okay, so the last time I had some hard time with the Booleans. The main problem was I think I can't think in terms of logic structures and statements. So I decided to start over to this chapter. And in the meantime, like I was just curious, about Booleans and Boolean operations, Boolean mathematics. So I did some research in my off time. I looked at Boolean operations and Boolean math. So basically, end statement is like multiplication. So if there's like 1 times 0 is just 0. So it always, if there's a 0 in the equation, you don't have any other chance. It's just 0. Or is like summation. 1 plus 0 is 1. So true or false is true. And true and false is false. So I did some research. Today I'll just start over and study again. Let's start our Pomodoro timer. Okay, if you look at the structure, we define a function here. Its name is can run for president, and our variable will be the age. And it returns a true or false result if age is greater than 35, greater or equal to 35, it will return true. If it's not, then it will return false. So here we use print function because just return will not be enough to print anything. So I will print, can a 19-year-old run for president? It will print the string to the screen, and then it will print the result of this function with the variable 19 and then with 45. Here This is floating 3 equals integer 3, so those values are equal. But sometimes when you have a string, so this is just some string, like it doesn't have an integer value or mathematical value. It's just a string, so it's false. Comparison operators can be combined with arithmetic operators. We have already seen to express a virtually limitless range of mathematical tests. For example, we can check if a number is odd by checking that the modulus with 2 returns 1. Function, we are defining a function. The name is odd, and this is our argument. This is our variable. We put semicolon for indentation, and this returns, it takes the mod of n, mod with 2, and then if it's equal to 1, then it will print true, or the result will be true. If not, it will be false. So is 100 odd? It will print is 100 odd, this string here, and then run the function and print the result. So for this one, it will be false. For this one, it will be true. Yes, because this one is just to assign a value to a variable. So Boolean values then are just true or false statements. You can combine them and, or, and not. In fact, the words to do this are and, or, and not. More accurate, okay? So we define another function. The name is can run for president. This time we provide 2 variables to the function. One is age, and the other one is another function, actually, result of another function. Is natural born citizen. So this time it will return the result of the combination of these 2. So it will return true if both is true. It will return false if both is false or one of them is false. Here, less than 35 and true, but this will be false. Here, more than 35, but it's not, and he's not a, or they're not a natural born citizen, so it's false. Here it's, and the value is 55 and true, so it will be true. Can you guess the value of this expression? So true and false, this will be false, true or false, this will be true. To answer this, you need to figure out the order of operations. And is evaluated before or, okay. It's like multiplication. In multiplication, in simple arithmetic operations, multiplication and division comes before summation and subtraction, but here we don't have subtraction and division, so multiplication comes before summation. That's why the first expression above is true. Okay. If we evaluated it from left to right, okay, let's look at that. True or true is true. True and false is false. So, yeah. Consider the following expression. Prepared for weather. Have umbrella or rain level less than 5 and have hood or not rain and is workday. I'm trying to say that I'm safe from today's weather if, let's start with this. If it is a work day, if rain or we'll do this first. So he is safe if he has an umbrella or if the rain level is less than 5 and he has a hood, so it's raining lightly and he has a hood, or if the rain level is not greater than 0, so if it's not raining and if it's not a work day. So this actually, I guess, put here to affect both, but I guess in this case, it won't affect both and it will just affect this. Okay, so it says it's still fine if it's not raining, but it's a work day. Okay, so yeah, it just affects this one. So yeah, okay. But not only is my Python code hard to read, it has a bug. We can address both problems by adding some parentheses. So one here and one here. Yes, the bug, with the bug, he means these two here. Booleans are most useful when combined with conditional statements using the keywords if, elif, and else. Conditional statements often referred to as if-then statements. If-then statement let you control what pieces of code are run based on the value of some Boolean condition. Here's an example. We define a function, its name is inspect, and its variable is x. We put our semicolon to indent the rest of the code. We have a conditional statement here. If x is false, print x is 0. Else if x is greater than 0, then print x is positive. If x is less than 0, print x is negative. Else print x is unlike anything I have ever seen. Maybe if it's a I don't know, if it's not, right, let's say it's integer. in this case, here it will still print, it will print, will come here, it will check if x is 0. Then the result will be true. Okay, x is, put 15, and 1 minus 15 is negative. If you put a string 0, then this is not true. This is not. I wish I could try this. Okay. The if and else keywords are often used in other languages. Another function, fx, if x is greater than 0, only printed when x is positive. X equals x, also printed when x is positive. X equals x, always printed regardless of the value of x. So these two will be printed whatever x is, but this one is, this one will be printed whatever x is, and these two will be printed only if x is greater than 0. So if it's 1, you get all these 3 lines. If it's 0, it will be shut down, and only this will be printed. Here we can call this function without the return statement because it prints a value. It has print in it. This is why. Okay. We have seen int, which turns things into integers, and float, which turns things into floats. So you might not be surprised to hear that Python has a bool function which turns things into bools. Bool1. All numbers are treated as true except 0. So true, false. All strings are treated as true except the empty string. True, false, true, and false. We can use non-Boolean objects in if conditions and other places where a Boolean would be expected. Like this. Here we have 0. So this is false. If false, then print 0. If otherwise, print spam. If otherwise, or if it's a string, then print spam. So this is treated as true. So if false, it will print 0. If true, I wish I could edit this. So it is just for this if loop though. If this was a function, and if the function was true, it would print spam. If the function was false, it would print 0. That's my interpretation. Let's do the exercise. But I'm getting sleepy. I woke up really early. Like, I guess 4:15. And it's 10. Set up. One, many programming languages have sign available as a built-in function. Python doesn't, but we can define our own. In the cell below, define a function called sign, which takes a numerical argument and returns -1 if it's negative, and 1 if it's positive, and 0 if it's 0. Oh, these all come with my answers. Okay, I'll just delete it. Okay. So definition sign x. What it wants? If it's negative, if x is less than 0, print return -1. If if x is greater than 0, return 1. I'll just do else if, because it might also be integer. It might not be integer, so it would just give you a false reading. Question 1 solution. Exactly. Here it has else. But as I said, if it's not a number but a string, it will still return then it will wait, what would it do then? If it's a string, it's not a number. It's not this, and not that. So it will just, I guess, return false, or I don't know, some error. And that would be okay, I see. So this is still okay. Okay, I will continue 5 more minutes and then I'll stop because I have to go to lab and do experiments. We have decided to add logging to our toSmash function from the previous exercise. So print splitting, so the string total candies, number of total candies, they'll print the value of the argument variable candies, and returns the mod of 3. This will be, and this is how much you're smashing. Around this splitting one grammar error. Okay, delete this. Total is equal to 1, then Okay, I don't have much time, so I guess I'll just stop here and then continue from here next time.